Hi, I'm Lisa Cavallero, the Confidence Coach, and today I would like to talk to you about things that you can do if you find out that your child is a bully. And the first thing that you can do is to accept the fact that he is 100, I'm going to say he, could be a girl, but accept the fact that he is 100% responsible for his actions. I talk to a lot of moms, especially who internalize this and say that it's their fault. It's not your fault. Okay, he is 100% responsible for his actions. We all like to think as parents that we are the biggest influencers in our kids' lives, and it's true, we do influence them greatly, but we're not the only ones. Our kids are being influenced by their peers, by the things that they see online, in the media, on television. So we are not our kids' only influencers. So there's no there's the situation will not get better if you feel shame for yourself as a parent. If you find out that your child is a bully, okay, you can deal with that, but you don't need to deal with any inner turmoil of your own. So that's number one, is to know that your son, your child, is 100% responsible for his behavior. Number two, usually if someone is displaying bully behavior at school, then he's probably also doing it at home. So, and a lot of times we're not even aware of it as the parent because we fall into patterns of behavior in our relationships. So I would ask you to look at your relationship with your child and see if and where there are areas where he's bullying you. Are there times when you are feeling forced to just stop saying what you're saying because he's becoming more upset? Or does he say things to intentionally insult you or hurt you, and that causes you to back off? Does he say things, other things possibly say or do things that create a sense of fear in you? So this is your work. This is your work. The first thing that I offered was to recognize that he's 100% responsible for his behavior. And the second thing I'm now suggesting is that you become responsible for your behavior, and that I mean that you don't back down to him, that you don't let him display bully behavior in your relationship with him, that you stand up. And especially if you have other children in the home, because often that's the case too, where a child has become a bully among his peers and he's bullying maybe a parent at home and then also other siblings. So it's good for you to model this behavior in front of your other children so that they can also see what it's like to stand up. So again, we go back to this word, I always go back to the word confidence. So for you to have the confidence that you can be who you are in your relationship with your child and that you can figure out what it is that you need to do. So I'm not saying that you want to antagonize him, add fuel to his fire, or anything like that. It's not that you want to give him back what he's putting down, but it's like you want to be true, like to be have a full sense of who you are in the relationship. So if you've got something to say, he's going to hear you. You're not going to back down. You're going to say it. Or if you're not even, sometimes we won't say something to him because we're afraid of his reaction. So to not do that, rather than say it knowing that he's going to be angry, or versus not saying it at all, how about this is where you get to use your freedom and your confidence in the situation to be able to come up with something better than you would have before, to be able to tweak, change, whatever it is that you needed to say, and to say it in a way that he can hear it so that it's more constructive possibly, and that it allows you, there's a great sense of satisfaction that you'll have in your relationship with him, but especially with yourself, that you'll feel as though you gave voice to what you needed to give voice to. So that's the second thing that you can do, is to pay attention to and to change who you are in your relationship with him. And then the third thing that you can do is to have regular conversations about bullying in your home. And it doesn't have to be directed at this particular child, but when you see something on TV, in the news, on a TV show, or with somebody that a story might come up in the neighborhood, or it might be certain kids, or it might be, it happens with adults, but to point out what bullying is, and to point out maybe even if somebody did do something to stand up for themselves, or to pose the question, I wonder what would have happened if that person who was victimized by the bully actually stood up for himself. If he or she actually said this, what would have happened? What would the bully have thought? Would the bully even have ever bullied that person again? Because he probably won't, because he knows that that person won't take it. So to be able to, rather than avoid the topic, I would spend more time. I would spend a lot of time talking about bully behavior. And again, it's also helpful to separate bully, rather than call somebody a bully, to identify the bully behavior. So when your son uses bully behavior, that this is how you would want to respond to it. So I hope this is helpful. The biggest thing is that there are things that you can do without trying to be forceful or trying to act like the police with your son, and turning this into something where it's like you against him. I don't believe that ever makes a situation better. I think that improving the relationship that you have with a child who is displaying bully behavior is always the right thing to do. I wouldn't do anything if your motive wasn't to improve the relationship with you. And sometimes it is, he's not always going to like what you do, especially when you stand up for yourself, because you're changing your steps in the dance with him, but you're doing it for a very good reason. One, for yourself, being who you are, and two, encouraging him to be more of who he is and forcing him to step it up to be the person that he is, which is a good human being who's here to have fun and a good time without taking advantage of other people. So I hope this was helpful, and you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can read my blog at bullyspin.com. Thanks again for stopping by, and I look forward to seeing you again. Bye-bye.